Well, as we said, APISD isn't the only district that is facing financial woes. We have new figures from the Ysleta Independent School District showing what may be a multi-million-dollar funding gap.
So apparently YISD is facing a $16 million budget deficit by the end of the school year, which is only really a couple of weeks away. That's according to district officials. Ysleta leadership says it expects up to $70 million from the state over the next 3 months, but it won't be enough to cover all of their expenses. In a quarterly report, district officials noted collecting over $300 million from federal, state, and local sources, but we're still waiting on over $97 million in funding, and a big chunk of those dollars would be from the state. The YISD School Board is scheduled to meet tomorrow evening, where they will discuss the district's finances. District officials are expected to ask the board to approve a $63 million loan to help cover costs.
Yeah, it's kind of like asking your family to spot you a couple of bucks until your tax refund comes in.
Yeah, well, if I'll tell you what.
Hey, I'm good for it.
I know.
You know the check is coming.
I know, right? If I learned anything from EPISD's board meeting last night that I watched until way late into the evening, it's that there's a lot of chance that that money might not come from the state or the feds. And so that's how we got into this problem. Another way we got into this problem with EPISD, at least, is there was an awful lot of covering items that were in the budget but weren't funded.
Yeah.
And a lot of items that didn't get told to the board and were kind of swept in without notifying the board that they were going to be needed to be funded.
Yeah.
And they were kind of using the payroll budget as I hesitate to say this word, but as their slush fund, because they were like, well, we don't always use 100% of it, so sometimes we kind of just use the leftovers.
Yeah.
It was the most disconcerting meeting I've ever seen.
Yes.
Ever. And you know I love me these meetings.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus on the internet.
It
seems to be what everybody who was either there or who watched it online like you did had to say about that EPISD thing yesterday.
Well, let me tell you something. I will be watching YISDs tonight as well, and I don't expect to be any less, shooketh.
Right.
Because it's just really the level of moving stuff around and keeping the board and apparently the superintendent in the dark.
Right.
It's just unbelievable.
Well, as far as YISD is concerned, I mean, 16 million sounds better than 52 million, but it's still going to be a shortfall.
Yeah.
So what's the answer at YISD with this shortfall?
I don't know.
How do they plan to cover that?
Well, that's the thing. We need to find that out tonight. And there was a lot of discussion about exigency last night at the EPISD board meeting.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Even if they made drastic changes to the budget, we are so far in the hole. And we are, let's take, for instance, the health savings plan. It is actually $19 million in the hole right now as we speak, and it loses $1 million a month.
Wow.
So it's not like if we say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw a bunch of money at it. Apparently the culture behind getting the budget rolling, behind making sure things were funded, is so messed up that they would have to completely change the culture of the way things have been done since back like 2012. And so I'm very curious to see what's going to be happening at the YISD budget meeting or board meeting tonight. I'm telling you, I'm trying to catch my breath from last night.
Well, I do know that in the past, Dr. De La Torre has talked about a tax ratification election. They've done penny swaps before, as they call them.
Right.
He's spoken about doing another one this year to help cover that $16 million shortfall. He's also not promising that there won't be a lot of layoffs.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
also said just recently,
Well,
I can't guarantee it like I have in the past.
EPISD's board was talking about I think it's called Chapter 21 contracts. Yeah, Chapter 21 contracts. Those are all state certified educators, classroom teachers, principals, librarians, nurses, and counselors.
Yeah.
Those contracts could be in danger.
Yeah, there's no question that both school districts are going to have to make a lot of painful decisions in the
Yes.
coming weeks because, as you pointed out, August. They have until August to get that budget for this next school year going.
Yep.